Hi, my name is Catriona Starpins and I'm here today to do an unboxing of an exciting new product on the bead market. It's made by Paula Gething from Organised. She's a fellow Australian bead artist based here in Melbourne, and her brother have been working on some products which are amazing and game-changing in your bead studio. So let's have a look together. Let's see what's inside this beautifully wrapped package. So here's our first clue of what we're opening here today. Bead Station by Organised. Look at this beautiful packaging. Love the tissue paper and the bow. Really excited to open it, so let's take it away. Now, I did have these products personalised for myself as well, so that's pretty exciting. Let's open the small one first. Nice little thank you sticker there holding it together. Oh, I don't want to rip the tissue, it's so pretty. Okay. This one aside for a moment. Oh, look at it, so exciting. I've gone with pink. Look at that. Now, what on earth is this, you may say? This is a tool. It's got a little grid on the bottom here, and it marries in with a whole lot of other little family of things I've got here. I've got a red one, and it's for putting your beading tools in. Now, this one is specially designed to fit your awls and your tubes, your thread burner. You see the thread burner stands up perfectly inside there. And these slots here are for putting in your FireLine. So I've got my roll of FireLine here. Pop that and it just, oh, look at that. It just sits perfectly. Now you may notice, or may not have noticed, there's a couple of little holes here on the front. And so if we take off the end of the FireLine, and just thread that through the little hole, it just means that it's always sitting there ready to go, and you can just pull that off the spool. Oh, how good is that? Okay, so let's just wind that back up. I don't need any FireLine just at the moment. So there's two slots there. I could put smoke in one and crystal in another. I only have a couple of rolls of smoke at the moment on hand. So they just slot beautifully in there and make a really great dispenser for those. This one's for your thread burner. How cool is that? Now these slots here, some of those can fit in your tulip beading needles. Let's get out a tulip bead needle tube. So these little glass tubes like this, and they are designed to fit. Oh, it's perfect. You can fit those just across the back there. And they are on hand for when you need them. Just grabbing one more out of my stash, pop it in there. How good's that? My goodness, this is designed beautifully, Paula. And then this little section here, you can put your beading awls. Now I've got one on hand, I was just using it before. So this is a tulip beading awl, and they fit just perfectly in there. So this is a fabulous little desk, handy little caddy here for your desk. This section here, you could put packets of bead needles if you had some. These needles I have here are the John James beading needles, and you can just rest those in there. Or maybe you have a thimble or something like I use and you just want to put it in there so it's ready to go when you need it. This is fabulous. Now, the bottom of this, I'll just empty it out for a moment. The bottom of this is designed with these grids in mind, and there's some new products coming down the track, I believe, to keep your desk super organized, that these will slot into. So you can build these up as to how many you need and the placement of them, and they'll all lock together and line up beautifully. And they're designed to just clip in. Look at that, you can even stack that on there if you want to. Because they clip in beautifully. If you had nothing inside this, it stacks on there beautifully. So it's just very clever design. This little one, just in case you're wondering, is thread storage, and you can fit the height of two rolls of 1G thread, or you can put in your KO, and it's got a handy little lid, and when you're using it you can take it off and put it underneath like that. I love a bit of pink and red together. That's why I've gone with pink with this one. Fabulous. Really excited by these products. I think it's going to make it excellent in my bead studio. Let's have a look what's in the next package. Okay, so let's have a look inside this other package. And this has been personalised for my business. Oh, so excited. Ready for the big reveal. It's currently upside down. Ba-ba-da-ba. Oh, look. Lovely little, thanks Kat. Can't wait to see what you create. Cheers, Paula. And look at this. It's got my company logo on it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Look at that. It's so smooth and perfect. And they have 3D printed my logo into the top of this. How cool is that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's take off the lid, see what's inside. Oh, look at this. Okay, so we've got bead mat. Nice. It's got the little magnetized needle holder there in the corner. Nice soft bead mat. Now I've gone with the opened ones of these because me personally, I get frustrated with a closed section to bead in. You can get bead mats where the little sections are closed, and the angle that I pick up my beads on, I just get super frustrated. But oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Look at that. Check it out. Bit of personalization there. I'm so happy with that. CatrionaStarpins.com. So when I'm doing my YouTube videos, people will know what my website is. So that's super cool. And look what's inside. Oh, look at these. So this is a little bead sorter. Now I do have the original bead sorter, which this is the first one that was made, and it's designed if you've got a puddle of beads on your mat and you've been using 8s, 11s and 15s and you just want to quickly sort them back in, you can just pour them into the topper here, give it a little shake like that, and then they sort out. You just take them out of the bottom and you can scoop them. The 8s will stay in the 8 size, the 11s will stay in the 11. So you can see the little holes are different sizes. Super cool. And they just clip together like that. That's easy storage. So I've had that one a little while and I've used it quite a few times. This one, oh, this one is the Bead Station. It is a grid, like I said, with some of the other products that are coming. This all clips together. You can see your size 11. You can see that really fine writing on there. It's etched into it. Oh, super cool. What do we got here? Size 15. Okay, so I've got all the pieces here, and to use the bead sorter, you stack them with the smallest size at the bottom. So size 15, size 11 are a little bit bigger, size 8 are bigger again, and then put the unmarked one, which is the catcher, just on the bottom there, and we're going to pour some beads into the top. So I've got some seed beads here. We've got some size 8 seed beads, and if anyone knows me, I would never mix them together like this on my mat, but you know, when you've been beading for a while, they might get like this. Oh no, this is my worst nightmare right here. For anyone who knows me, I would just not do this. Alright, so now we're going to use the scoop. Ooh, quite handy. Pour them in the top here. And what this does is it collects the beads back into the sizes they are. So you can see they all shook down through this one and caught the size 8s in there. And just put the lid on. I'm going to shake, 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 shake. And I'm just keeping, you know, I'm using a bit of pressure to keep the lid on. See, is there any more in there that shouldn't be? They look pretty good. So there might be the odd bead here or there, but safe to say most of those look like size 8s to me. And there's a few 15s still in there. We'll just give this layer another bit of a shakety shake. We're relying on the beads that are a little bit smaller to go through the holes. So size 11s, maybe 1 or 2 15s that got a bit stuck. But I'll tell you what, that is bloody amazing. Just take those few that got stuck and they are back into their sizes. How cool is that? And then you can use your little, let's pull the rest of them out. You can use your little bead scoop to scoop them up off the mat and then put them back into the tubes that you originally poured them from. If you've got any beads that are bigger than a size 8, like a size 6 or a shaped seed bead, they would be compiled in this top one, they would stay in there and the 8s would fall through. So whatever size is on here, that's what's going to fall through. The 15s fall through that one. So you just got to remember to stack them. If you're doing all of them like this, you want to stack them with the smallest one at the bottom and then up to the biggest at the top. Lid on, little catcher at the bottom, and then just shake until they drop down. And then we've got these little holders on the top of my thread holder. I can stack them as one big one like this, so I can put them like this. How cool is that? Here's our little tray. This is designed to have on your desk. You can have your bead sorter in there if you wanted. You can have your thread organizer. Look, see how the little grids of this hook into that perfectly. Oh, so cool. You can put them on there if you wanted. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm like a kid in a candy shop. So another great feature here is it's got this little slot here, and you can use the lid from your bead station. You can put it in like this or the other way, and it stands up. And you can clip your pattern to this, so you can have your pattern laid out in here and be able to read from that, and it would just be standing here on my desk and really easy to see. So that's another wonderful feature. It also have different inserts that you can put inside your bead mat. Now if I get this here, oh, scoop, wonderful little scoop, and there is a little QR code if I want to find any other bead tools. Got a bit of a squirrel brain today, we're jumping around a little bit. Okay, so I've got this in here. Now if I wanted to switch this over to be this, what we call freedom insert, you can interchange, I'm making a bit of space here so we can get it on the screen. You can interchange these inserts by they just pull out, they're flexible. You see that just pulls out of there like that. Keep your bead mat in there. You can change your bead mat if it starts to get dirty, especially if you're using smoke FireLine. You can change that over and put a fresh one inside, or perhaps you're doing something with light colour beads and you want to put a dark colour bead mat so they show up really well. You can switch that over, and I think this is probably the insert I'm going to use the most. You can see got my website on that one too, and you just flex that into there. Yeah, it's all just flexible insert. Look at that. Oh, how exciting. There we go. Website on there. Bead on here really nicely. I can take this out of this section if I want to, but I've got space in there to put, you know, a few different beads and things. I can fit my bead sorter in here if I want to take it with me when I go to like beading groups and things. I've got my little triangle for scooping beads up off the mat and pouring them back into packets and tubes, and this can fit inside here as well. Spare one of those, move that to the middle, that's not in the way, and then I can put the lid on here and then get the lid here, whack that on top, and then I can take that with me. I can take it if I'm teaching in class, in person, or if I'm going to a bead society meeting. It's got this little elastic band so that nothing can fall out in transit. You know, I'm so excited by this. This is wonderful. Now I do want to show you a couple other things that I did buy from Honestring previously as well, just to show you, because they are super cute. This is my other bead mat I got. I got this at the Melbourne Bead Expo that was on recently in October, and I fell in love with the red colour, obviously, favourite colour, closely followed by pink, and I think these go really well together. Okay, elastic band again to keep it all sorted. There we go. I can put that underneath my bead mat when I'm beading. I've got, again, this is got on a string on this one. Got, if you're doing a pattern with A, B, C, D, E, F, that's really great to be able to sort your beads, and these work in the same way. If I want to change this insert, I just flex that out of there, take that one out. Oh, there's a bead! And then you just pop the other one in. Gotta hold your mouth right to get it in, and look at that! I'm ready to go with my pattern that uses some alphabetical beads in the kit. So good. you want to get one of these, you need to head to onastring.com.au. Wonderful products there, and I'm so impressed with this system. So the Bead Station Caddy Plus is what Paula describes as the ultimate beading setup, and you can see on her website here she gives fantastic descriptions about what you're actually purchasing. The one that I got is here. It's 20 centimeters by 24 centimeters. It's got the deep dish base, a lid which can be used as a stand, the 2 flex inserts which we've had a look at, the rectangle flex frame, the rack stand where you can set up a stand to read your pattern from, the square bead sorter, triangle scoop, and of course the elastic band to keep it closed when you're traveling. So you can see there's lots of different colors available on the website. I highly recommend heading to onastring.com.au and checking out the Bead Station Caddy Plus. So thanks again, Paula from Onastring. I love this product and I'm super happy to have it in my bead studio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!